Kids will be kids. How do you handle those frank questions about disability? And Neo Edelman is back in the kitchen. Your baby will dine well tonight. Plus, how to get that celeb hairdo at home.
Looking all around me, loving everything that I see.
Where can you get your chocolate fix in the city? Hi, I'm Mary Ito, and living in Toronto is at the Nutty Chocolatier today on Queen Street in the Beach. This is your one-stop chocolate shop to satisfy your craving. Now, coming up on the show, have you ever thought of starting a home-based business? Well, we're going to give you a step-by-step guide. But first, this has happened to me as a mom, and I'm sure it's happened to you too if you have kids. You're out with your children, and you see someone with a disability. Your children make a comment or they ask a question and you're embarrassed. You're not quite sure what to do. Well, we talked to a doctor who gives us some great advice because he sees things from both sides.
What's wrong with that man? Why does he look funny?
I am really looking forward to talking with Duncan McKinley, who is a psychologist, a specialist in Tourette's syndrome. Now, you treat children who have this condition, and you yourself have it. Well, what is Tourette's syndrome?
Tourette's syndrome, at its most basic, is having different motor movements and noises that we call tics or twitches. Common ones would be eye blinking or head movements or clearing the throat. We call our clinic the Break Shop to try and help kids to understand about Tourette's syndrome, because we tell them really what's happening is they have leaky brakes in their brain. They have a hard time stopping what their body's doing or the noises that their bodies are making.
I want to ask you about kids' perspectives of Tourette's. Kids who don't have Tourette's. What kind of reaction do you get from them when they see you and you're exhibiting these tics?
Yeah. Well, they tend to do three things. The first thing they do is their attention snaps to me. The second thing is that their jaw drops and they stare. And the third thing is that they look to the closest adult to see how they should respond. And it's pretty important for parents and folks to know the kind of power they wield, I guess, when they're writing on the blank slate, so to speak.
Why did he talk like that? Why does he do that?
I could see a kid saying to their parent, right, "What's wrong with that man?" And then the parent going, "Shh, no, nothing, everything's fine." You're just sort of whitewashing the whole thing?
They say the road to hell is paved with good intentions, and often what that does is it communicates to the kid, this is something uncomfortable, this is something that shouldn't be discussed, which really accomplishes two things. For one thing, if it's a child who's just genuinely curious about another child, it really erects uncomfortable, awkward walls. It's like the big vocal elephant in the corner that we're just pretending isn't there, and so it can disrupt potential friendships. But the other thing it does is for the bullies in the crowd, when they find out that, no, this is an uncomfortable thing we shouldn't be talking about, it really gives them fodder. It allows them to roll up their sleeves and think, okay, well, I got something to bug this person about now.
So how do you hope that parents address the question?
One time I was sitting on a bus and what happened was the child looked at the father and the father kind of snickered, and so immediately the kids adopted that on and were kind of looking out of the corner of their eyes and snickering and doing just like Daddy. Another time I was in a farmer's market and the only adult that was close by for this kid to look at was my girlfriend at the time. And this child looked at my girlfriend. My girlfriend just non-verbally didn't say a word, just pulled me a little closer and smiled sweetly at the young child. And so then the child smiled sweetly back at me. And so absolutely, I think in the moment is a very powerful time to communicate with these kids. It's okay to be curious, and more importantly, it's okay to be different, to encourage the child's curiosity, to basically answer them not by dumbing down the message at all, but maybe just by diluting the language.
Why do you look like that? What's wrong with that man?
Are there good questions and bad questions that kids can ask?
I don't think so. I think any question is a good question, because as soon as you're asking a question, you're offering the individual with the disability dignity. You're basically telling them, I'm not going to make an assumption about what's really going on here and potentially misperceive you and mistreat you. I want more information. I need more data.
To contact Duncan McKinley's Psychology Clinic for children with Tourette syndrome and other disorders, go to cpri.ca and look under clinics. For a list of resources on people with disabilities, go to our website.